Hi, I'm Dave Elliott, and thanks so much for being with us this morning. We're going to start with 1 year now since a tornado devastated a part of Moss Point. Mayor Billy Knight is right here, right now, with a personal recovery report and what still needs to be done in Moss Point. Always good to see you, Mayor, and thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having us.
Now, you and I, we're old timers. We know a thing or two about recovering from a natural disaster. Moss Point, 1 year later, how would you characterize where the city is?
We're in good shape, Dave. We made a lot of progress with a lot of help from a lot of friends across this country. And our people have come together to helping people, help each other. I'm very proud of that because our people, whatever differences you may have, when a crisis comes, we seem to all forget about that and come together. Our people did that, and I'm so grateful for that.
Are you about where you would have imagined you'd be at this point?
No, because we moved faster than I thought we would, Dave,
Really?
because of the damage. Yeah, we're much farther ahead than I thought we would, but again, it's because of all the help and our people coming together. Because as I talk with MEMA and FEMA representatives, they talk about these disasters across the country normally take longer than we have taken to come back, and I think it's because of all the support we had and our people coming together to work to help each other get back.
Well, talk about coming together, Mayor. Look at the TV monitor right there. The rebuilding efforts going, the demolishing there. We saw a house that was being rebuilt. You've had a lot of nonprofits and other groups come in too, and we saw that during Katrina. Really, we see that during every natural disaster. I'm wondering if the coast could do it without that.
It would be very difficult, Dave, and really, I mean, we cannot do this work by ourselves. I know we couldn't in Moss Point, but Amish and the Mennonites, the one came in and built 8 houses from us from the ground up and renovated 16 houses, and we couldn't have done that by ourselves. And with the long-term recovery fund, bought the material for that. Mm-hmm. And so they provided the labor, but we couldn't have got it done. And then all the volunteers from across the country, from Ohio, came down to clean the place up, with the debris that we had.
You guys may have created a model for the future with that fund. You raise the funds locally for the materials, mm-hmm. and then the builders, the contractors, whatever they might have to be, will then come in and do the actual work. Because I don't remember that ever being a plan before.
Well, the long-term recovery committee is a standard committee that all counties are supposed to have.
But have they ever done that where they raised the money for the materials then the work was done?
Right. I don't recall it happening.
Well, I think that's what some of the coasts should learn from.
It really has helped us because our people had the foresight to realize that committee was needed, and the bank, M&M Bank, with Casey Hill stepped up to start calling to get those donations, and he started at 5 in the morning on that Thursday, and by 5 that evening we had raised almost $500,000 in donations, and that grew to $850,000. So the people really stepped in. The banks, all the lending loans, everybody helped, including individuals donated to that fund.
And so that's put into an account.
Into an account that.
And how do you draw from?
United Way managed that account.
It did. Okay.
They were our physical manager, and Catholic Charities did the social service side of it, qualifying people for those funds, and we're still using some of those funds.
Well, I hope the coast learns from that. Okay, so the high school, I know the football stadium took a hit. That it's 100% completed.
Yeah, the football.
It's good to go, right?
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, that's about up and running. Our baseball parks are not up and running because we're still waiting on FEMA to make some calls on that. But our football stadium is up and going, and they're using it now.
I want to ask you something, and this is bigger than just Moss Point. This is peers in all these cities. You just mentioned waiting for FEMA. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between a city going and doing it on its own and then waiting to be reimbursed from FEMA? And a lot of these cities that are waiting to get piers repaired for FEMA to come up with the money on the front end. Don't cities really need to do it and then wait to be reimbursed? What are your thoughts? As an executive,
that's the way it's set up. I mean, that's
the reimbursement.
Yeah, it's all about reimbursement.
So then, why are some of these other cities, and we're not going to throw anybody under the bus,
right,
waiting for FEMA before they do these repairs?
Well, the board have to decide whether they want to do a loan or what we did. We had to do an anticipation, what we call an anticipation loan. And to get me, we borrowed $1 million, I believe it was, to have in the bank to pay for the debris. And
I think you have to do that.
And so you do that, and then you get reimbursed later. But we couldn't wait. We knew our people was not going to allow us to wait to FEMA because we didn't know how long it was going to take. And you can't have debris laying around like that for 3 or 4 months and not knowing when they're going to come.
I think
So you just
cities
have to
need
take-
the
you just have to
budget
take-
money
yeah,
to do the repairs and then just put up with the paperwork and the red tape and wait to be reimbursed.
It takes leadership and a lot of courage to do it because sometimes the people don't want you to do it. They don't understand, but at the same time they want to be a place cleaned up. So you got to provide that leadership to say this is what we got to do in order to clean it up. If not, you're going to be waiting a while because you never know when FEMA going to come through.
We have these piers down here. Again, I'm not going to mention any cities. I'll let everybody off the hook. Merchants and Marine Bank, there are always little kind of things that happen that are sort of chapters in a bigger story. They had a groundbreaking this week for their new location. The tornado tore up the roof, I think, ripped off the facade. And when things like that happen, it makes everybody feel like, hey, we are coming back, right?
Absolutely. Dave, there's, in my mind, there's different kinds of leadership. There's political leadership, there's community leadership, and there's corporate leadership. M&M Bank just demonstrated what corporate leadership looks like to a community. They are our corporate partners, and they want to be in Moss Point. There was some rumor that Merchant Marine were going to use this as an opportunity not to come back to Moss Point. And that has never been far from the truth, because M&M has always...
You mean that has never been the truth?
It's never been the truth.
Yeah, you said never been far from the truth.
No, never been the
Make it
truth.
clear.
Never been the truth that they was going to leave. They were going to leave, and they've always been our partner. They want to be there, and they're going to build back bigger and better, and we're looking forward to it. So they're great partners for us.
And finally, Mayor, and I have to stick, we're up against the clock, about 30 seconds left. What do you say to people in Moss Point right now?
Thank you. We appreciate you coming together and working hard to bring our city back, and that's the only way you can do it, Dave, is coming together. Our people came together, they worked together, we communicated well together, and we helped each other get back on our feet. We still got a ways to go, Dave, but we have demonstrated that when you come together and work together, there's nothing you can do. And let me just highlight our 2 churches that really came together.
Quickly.
They really came together for the First Missionary Baptist Church and First Baptist Church. They came together and they've been having service together since that time because one of the churches was totally destroyed.
Yeah, well, that just goes to show, and people on the Mississippi coast know this as well as anybody, any community, anywhere in America. It takes people rolling up their sleeves, it takes people working together, and it really takes love and commitment. Moss Point Mayor Billy Knight, always good to see you, Mayor.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us so much.